Well, hey, today we're talking about pairing teas with pastries. It's a thing. Stay tuned. Well, hello, I'm Heidi Dulabon, and I'm excited to be with you today. We are going to talk about pairing different types of tea with pastries. Yes, it's a whole thing. It's really quite fascinating. And if you follow my channel, which I hope you do, you'll know that I'm crazy about coffee. Well, I'm also crazy about tea. I grew up with a very proper British mother, and the first thing we did in the morning was put the kettle on and have a nice cuppa. And I still do that today. Start the day with a cup of tea, and then I move on to coffee. So, let's just talk about the tea plant. It's so interesting because with tea, there is one plant. Unlike coffee, there are two main types of plants. There's Robusta and Arabica. But in tea, there is one type of plant. A friend of mine gave me some tea leaves here, and that plant is the Camellia sinensis. And from that one plant, you get all these different types of tea. What's the difference, you ask? Thank you for asking. Well, it's in the processing. How the tea leaves are processed gets you anywhere from a delicate white, green, oolong, all the way to a nice, beautiful black tea. It just depends on the processing. So kind of a neat thing. Okay, so while we're at this, let's just talk about some of the tea I've prepared here for you today. This is a green tea. And green tea, the least processed of all teas is white tea. It's extremely, extremely delicate. If you had some, it's rare. You could pair it with some light cookies maybe. This is green tea, and it is barely processed. The heat is added so it doesn't oxidize and get you this light, beautiful, fruity green tea. Okay, here I have some Darjeeling for you, and I absolutely personally love this. This is a black tea. It's fully oxidized, and I think this tastes really great. Goes with many, many things. And this is another favorite of mine. This is a very dark black tea. This is Assam. And these teas I have here were all grown in India. Okay, so now let's talk about pairing them with some pastries. Did you know that there are tea sommeliers? Just like there are wine somms, there are tea somms. It's amazing. It's a whole world, and the tea somms are taught everything there is to know about tea, including how to pair them. Matter of fact, the International Tea Masters Association has aroma wheels and things that you can print off online to help you with when you're pairing. Because, just like with wine, when you're pairing pastries or anything with tea, it comes down to personal taste. So while you may read this is what you should do, well, you know what? You do you. If you don't like that, well, then just experiment. That's what this is really all about. There's no right or wrong answer here. This is about experimenting. So let's just talk about some of the pastries I have here. Okay, first off, I have a very decadent dark chocolate cake. And this cake, it is bold flavors. And so I want a bold tea, and I'm going to choose my Assam. This is as bold as it gets, and I love that. So it's strong, it's big, it's in your face. So chocolate, this dark chocolate is there. I think this Assam will pair nicely with this dark chocolate cake. Okay, so now, let's turn around our plate here, and let's take a look. We've got a New York style cheesecake, and we have some scones, or as they say in England, scones. Get them before they're gone. Scones gone, then you'll remember. Okay, so what shall we have with cheesecake and scones. Something not quite so in your face, so strong and bold. Let's go for something, a black tea, but not quite as strong. So I'm choosing my Darjeeling. Yes, I think this is going to be a great pairing with this. Okay, let's just keep moving. And I also have some macaron. I have a croissant, and I have a nice fruit tart. And with all of these, I'm going to pair those with a fruity green tea. Yes, I think that the green tea, the fruity flavors in that will complement these pastries really well. So what do? Well, you just dive in and you start eating and you start drinking and you see what you like. What do you think complements each other? Because when you're pairing these, you can either go for something big and bold in both of them, like I did the Assam tea with the big dark chocolate cake, similar things, or you can choose things that complement. Maybe they're not quite the same. Cheesecake is not really fruity, but I think the green tea will complement that. So whereas the fruit tart is fruity, and I think the fruity green tea will be similar and work very well as a pairing. So it's super interesting. It's a whole thing. Please like this video, drop me a comment, tell me, are you pairing your teas with food and pastries in particular? I'd love to hear about it. Are you a tea som? Love to hear your thoughts. What do you do? What's your opinion on all this? Because you've got a lot to say as a tea som. Okay, thank you for watching, everyone. Please be so kind, like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'd be so grateful. And as I always say, everyone, please be kind. Thank you.